Okay, I mean, this Pistons player is gambling right now. That is a real problem with DeMar DeRozan. Like, look at your gambling. You're going to gamble again here. So now you're off balance. So right now, what you need to do, DeMar DeRozan is unbelievable in the mid-range. You've got to be battling for positioning here, but you're out of position because you were gambling. So now he's just going to be able to move you backwards and get right to his spot. Okay, in transition here, Jalen Duren, please. You're not getting this ball. Could just get back. Look at the issue with you going towards this ball for absolutely no reason. Well, now look at transition defense. Killian Hayes couldn't stay with Zach LaVine because he had to come up and take the ball, which is where you should have been. If Jalen Duren is going to stay and double here, okay, and it's pretty clear that he's doing that, then RJ Hampton has to rotate down here and take Alex Caruso. You have to. Like, Jalen Duren doubles, this pass can't be available. Okay, if you're Jalen Duren, you're fine right here. Your feet are set. You're in a defensive stance. You're ready to guard Zach LaVine. Look at this. You're taking steps upward now. So now you're playing off of your front foot as Zach LaVine is coming downhill. Really not great combo. Okay, so James Wiseman comes to help at the rim. Killian Hayes was beat. Killian Hayes is going to come over to Vucevic, which he needs to do. So what is Jalen Duren doing? Why is Jalen Duren? You got to stay with your man here. Like, Killian Hayes is coming over. Okay, fine. Stop. So Killian Hayes has to stay here, and James Wiseman's got to take DeRozan, or this has to. But no, Killian Hayes can't be coming up here to guard Patrick Beverley because Jalen Duren was just standing. If you're Jaden Ivey, you just have got to get backpedaling in transition, full court. Like, of course you're going to get beat doing that. Okay, so Killian Hayes does a nice job in the gaps here. Okay, he's going to help Corey Joseph on Zach LaVine. Okay, so that means that Jalen Duren needs to stay here. Jaden Ivey needs to stay here. This is the player who is helping. Okay, so Killian Hayes does a great job. Okay, I mean, I wish he got his dribble picked up, but Corey Joseph's now guarding fine. Why is Jalen Duren also helping? Like, that's... If you're going under this screen, then you have to get your hands off of the ball handler because you're going under and you can't make contact with the screener when you go under. Look at this. So your hand, why are you, like, you're going up right now. Well, if you're going under the screen, look at this. You just made contact with the screener. You're not going to be able to guard. Now they're going to twist and set a second screen, and you are just not going to be able to guard this. Okay, this Pistons player cannot fall asleep on DeMar DeRozan here. Like, what? Look at the, why? Why are you falling asleep on him? So now, because of this absurdity, you have to call for a switch very late, which Corey Joseph is not going to be ready to guard this switch just now. But, so, now look, now because he's not ready to guard DeRozan, he's not going to be ready to guard this ball screen. I mean... Okay, so I don't know why James Wiseman is doubling here, but he is. So Jaden Ivey's going to have to rotate here, and then Corey Joseph would have to rotate here, and James Wiseman would have to rotate here. I mean, that's the reality of doubling. You got to rotate. And Jaden Ivey's rotation needs to be to just defend, not gamble like that. Okay, I mean, James Wiseman has to get his feet set. You're in drop coverage. That means you have to keep the ball in front of you, which means you have to be in a defensive stance. Like, look at James Wiseman as he's look, you're climbing, you're going uphill. You just went uphill as Zach LaVine has a full head of steam downhill. Like, I mean, good night. Okay, we again have an issue with James Wiseman in drop coverage here. You got to get up and guard the ball a little bit. Zach LaVine is a very good offensive player. Like, you got to be over here. Like, at least guard the ball a little. Have your feet set. You can be able to slide over to Vucevic too. But, like, you cannot drop this much on Zach LaVine. Got to get organized in transition. Corey Joseph has to take Vucevic here. Jalen Duren is not going to be able to. So Jalen Duren will have to sprint and come here. This player will have to take DeRozan. Like, I mean... Okay, so I've never seen this before, but here it is. This Pistons player is clapping right now. I don't know why. But the fact he's clapping is going to prevent him from guarding Zach LaVine here. Look at this. He's clapping right now. Well, Zach LaVine just came flying off of a down screen, and you were not ready to guard because you were clapping? Okay, if you're Jalen Duren here, you got to get up. This is Zach LaVine. Like, I understand you're in drop coverage, but you can't just give up a wide open three to him. Get your feet set in a defensive stance. You'll be able to shift over to Drummond. But, like, again, like, this is backpedaling, and that is a real not good thing with Zach LaVine. Okay, I mean, Jaden Ivey's gambling here. This just can't... Come on. Like, you're gambling. Okay, now you're beat. So now... Okay, so block shot. Andre Drummond has this ball. Jalen Duren has to sprint back here. Like, you're gambling here. So now look what like you should be guarding. Like, I mean, you can't guard the ball backpedaling. So you need to get back here and get in a defensive stance. Like, if you're going to start backpedaling, you can't guard the ball. You're playing off your back foot. You're going to get beat. And again, it's the same thing with Corey Joseph. You can't guard while backpedaling. You're like, what? Ugh. And this gamble here just destroys you. Look at Killian Hayes. So he's going to gamble right here. Well, now you can't guard anymore. So we have a lot of Pistons players just standing and staring at this shot. I mean, I 1, 2, and this third Pistons player that's barely in your screen. So that's not great, but that could still be prevented. Why did these players here just stop? What? I mean, if you're Corey Joseph, you can't start in drop coverage like you're starting in, and then say, well, never mind, I want to switch now. Well, James Wiseman isn't guarding like it's a switch. So, like, what is James Wiseman doing? Get organized. So, if this player's guarding this Bulls player, okay, I guess you have to communicate that because James Wiseman needs to know, okay, I need to come here now. Like, James Wiseman is really now just standing in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so we have a turnover here. Stop. Okay. So Corey Joseph right now, his focus needs to be just getting back. Complaining, being frustrated, do that during a dead ball. This is a live ball, so sprint now. Look at Corey Joseph being frustrated right there. So that's the difference. In this space is why that is. So because you're so far behind Ayo Dosunmu here, now this player can't come over here and guard. He's got to stay here and guard. All right, so James Wiseman needs to sprint back here. Okay, he's not doing that. All right, that's number one. And then, so you got to come here. Like, you got to get to a body in transition. Like, James Wiseman's jogging, and he's jogging to the middle of nowhere again.